All right, guys, quiet down. Yeah, go ahead. So, sorry for the technical difficulties. It was just a loosened wire that kind of screwed us up, but what you just heard is called a whale tune, and it was the experimental composition that I simply auto-tuned the sound of whale and also layered some of the like instrumental sound like cymbals, and also a little bit of keyboards were involved, and I apply all those together and make a about a 4 minutes long piece. But anyway, so here's our first guest speaker, Tatsumi. Hey, how's it going, Tatsumi?
Hi.
Get close to the mic.
Hi.
Hey, Tatsumi, how's it going?
It's going good. It's going good.
So how are you feeling now that well, just let you know, we just finished our final. Some students are still have several days to go, but how's things going? It's been rough days, right?
Yeah, I was working on my comic because I do comics, and that took a few weeks of like not sleeping every other day, and now that that's finally over, things are getting settled.
Mm-hmm. But
yeah, so it's my first time on this show, and what do you guys usually talk about?
No, we just talk a bunch of random stuff, but usually every week I have a theme, and a lot of themes were decided depends on my mood, or sometimes the context that I or the sources that I get out from the like a media, or sometimes it's just simple, very it's just sometimes very random selected topics that I make up. Like such one example would be my second show, which was called Silly Man and Charming Woman. I was thinking about the couple and what it means to be like a couple.
So what's today's theme?
Today's basically is just the last show, and it's whole simply a presentation of me, what I've been doing in school.
Okay.
And also some of the musics that I made was it has some kind of like progression. It doesn't build up like right away. Not like a theme. Like theme, you can decide the words, and just like, hey, let's this be the theme, right?
Yeah.
Picking a theme is not easy, but making the actual, the interesting parts of the theme, like small parts combined together and make a big whole picture, something like that. It takes time, and instead of showing other artists' work, this time I might have thought, well, people might be curious what I'm doing at this art school, and I want to show some kind of examples that what I've been doing. So today it's just about just showing my musical composition, but also by having a conversation with you, people would get some kind of some kind of picture what it's like to be in a School of the Art Institute.
I see.
And then we just talk and talk and talk. Anyway, also, why don't you introduce about your comics? Is it okay to talk about your comics, or what is it about?
Sure. So, if you guys know the magazine Shonen Jump, it's a serial magazine that is produced weekly in Japan, and the targeted audience are, well, any reader, of course, is welcome, but the target audiences are like generally younger boys, like maybe from elementary to middle school or high school. And so I produce comics that are targeted towards those audience. So nothing too deep or serious so that they can't understand, or just like my stuff usually has like a lighter touch to it. And I usually go with comical comics, like gag mangas, but I wanted to experiment on narratives because I'm not very good at narratives, and but it's something I always wanted to do because like I love One Piece, and that's a great narrative.
Like narrative in the end, it's all about the creativity, and creativity also means being experimental. I mean, I'm pretty sure the One Piece, by the way, is the that very well-known pirate comic book manga made in Japan, and I'm pretty sure One Piece probably not likely to have a piece altogether when it's first presented. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The author. What's the author, by the way?
The author, Eiichiro Oda.
Eiichiro Oda.
Oda sensei.
And he must have been, work for a long, long time to put all that story together.
Yeah.
I mean, the series is still going on.
Right. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing, and I'm taking an adaptation course with John Petricus, who is like one of the teachers for screenwriting class for movies, and that definitely helped me.
Right.
And I'm gonna make this time I'm making something that's like half comical, half narrative. So it's like a gag manga with an actual narrative to it. It's not just a series of jokes and then it ends there. Yeah.
You think coming with those narratives as a manga artist and also you as an art student, give me one example to the people who are listening right now. That how would you come up with the narrative? Like, do you just casually think about it, or is it something that you try to come up with the narrative that's kind of personally involved? It kind of like it's kind of like a personal story, but you fictionalize it and then make it drastic and.
Well, I can't really say anything because I'm not that good, but I've all been struggling with that because narratives is hard and I tend to get lost in my own story sometimes. But one thing I did figure out recently through talking to other friends that inspire me is one of the most important things I think when you make a story is to have a set theme. And then usually people get lost because they make a character but then they want to say this and that, which is my previous mistakes, but then it's not really headed towards anywhere, and then the readers are left with this feeling like, what the hell did this guy want to say when he's making it? So I'm making a new story, and the first thing I did was I set a theme, and for example, salvation from self-destruction, so I'm making this character he's a Yakuza, and he's really self-destructive, because they kill people, and he has nothing to do, and then he's just going downhill in his life, but then it's a half comical series, so I'm making, in this story, Santa comes down to Earth, and he helps this Yakuza. So it's basically a story between Yakuza and Santa. And
see, that's already creative there.
Yeah. So I guess
being silly too. That kind of
If I was gonna say anything, is have a set theme, and then So I start off with a theme, and then I come up with a character, and you got it's important to know what your character is feeling. So you think about the character, and then
you start thinking about the perspective.
And of course the story needs drama. So if once you know the character, then you know what he doesn't want the most, and you put him in the situation that's worse for him. Okay. And just stuff like that.
That's good. The next tune I'm also going to bring it up is that it's my second tune, but just similar to your procedure, I set it up, the beat. The one thing that I realized later is that I also struggle with come up with a good mood and composition. I mean, I was fine with the playing instrument just for fun, but these puzzles were not putting together.